You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome back to the Kop TV Hot Kopics podcast, episode 116 with myself, AGT, and of course, Freestyle DM, aka Doyle, is here with us as well. How you doing, bros? Good to see you again.
All right, lad. Just chilling in my room now. Just had a cup of tea, some eggs on toast, shower and that. Nice and relaxed, lad. It's a later show today as well, so I had a little bit of a lie, which is a nice treat.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just had a bit of smoked salmon eggs on toast as well, so I'm with you there, my brother. We should explain, we're not in the studio today because the studio that we use, is, as you probably are aware of, is also used by DR Sports. We are doing a live show tonight at Toca Social. So all the kit in the studio is headed over to North Greenwich right now. I think they're setting up as we speak. So we couldn't do it from the studio today, and we love doing it from the studio. Yeah, just like last week, it was a great show and we had loads of interaction. But next week we'll be back to normal what am I on about? Normal programming, eh? Obviously,
I had a few.
Yeah,
let's get going. Hey, he's just come back from Amsterdam. We'll let him off.
I have. Brain's a bit fried. Apologies. But yeah, we'll be back to normal programming from next week. But this week we're coming to you online. But still, loads of great stuff to talk about. Loads of burning hot Kopics. Before we jump into them, make sure that you do what you do every time we do this, and it's like the video. Let's have your comments. Your hot Kopic comments in the chat as well. Let's get you subscribing.
Your hot comments,
There you go. And if you're listening to us on audio platform, if you can hear our dulcet tones, then make sure you smash that 5-star review button and follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, etc. Doyle, let's start with our weekends, and then we can jump into the hot Kopics, which do include Trent potentially moving to Madrid, Kelleher openly asking for another club, and the fact that we've not actually seen any sign yet of Arne Slot, who actually started his job 2 days ago, and more. But get your live comments in and we can answer your questions as well. But Doyle, tell us, I mean, I was in Amsterdam, I got back Friday. Everyone was asking me, what are you doing for the Champions League final? I said, I can't wait to sit on the sofa and watch it, as you know. And as the guys watching now, I've been traveling a lot in the last 2 weeks. So I was happy to just sit around on the sofa and watch it. But you were there, weren't you, Doyle? Tell us the story.
I was so lucky, so lucky, and I'm very grateful to have been there. So what happened to me was, it was 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, and I'm just going about my business as you do every day. A few hours from kickoff, lad. I'm getting ready for the Champions League. I'm looking forward to it in my brain, lad. I'm thinking Dortmund's Royce's last game for Dortmund. It could be a special one. I want to see this. Been seeing Dortmund fans all over the city. It was beautiful, the noise that they made. They were visiting amateur games. Honestly, the German fans are amazing. Talk more about them. But 6 o'clock on a Saturday evening, and I get a phone call from my agent, and he goes, "Doyle, do you like football, mate?" And I said, "I love football, mate. It's boss." And he said, "All right, lads, I've got some tickets to a very, very, very fantastic game of football there for you, lads." And I was like, "Yeah, is that the Champions League final by any chance?" And he said, "It is, mate." And I was like, "Fantastic. Can I have it, please?" And he did. He gave me a ticket, lad. And I literally sprinted from my destination, where I was in that moment, to Wembley. I got there just in time. I had about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It was wonderful, right? You're walking up the stairs, and all the fans have sort of cleared at this point on Wembley, so you've got it to yourself, and the Champions League music's playing, and you're looking at the arch, and it's got London all over it, and you see the big yellow and the white from the teams. And I walked in, and I got myself a quick pint, can't lie, just a quick one. Got to, haven't you, lad? You know what I mean? If you go to the game, you've got to just want a little cheeky pint there quick. Next that, got up there, got enough time to watch some of the game pre-entertainment, which was boss. Proper spectacle. I'm not really a fan of it when I'm watching it on TV, but when you're there, you're like, whoa, this is mad. This
Lenny Kravitz on the guitar, wasn't it?
Insane, lad. Like, genuinely, like, you're just looking at these things in complete awe. And then the game starts, lad, and I'm just sat there watching. Honestly, guys, we love Anfield. Everyone loves Liverpool supporters. Like, all over the world, we are renowned for our atmosphere. But them Dortmund fans, honestly, lad, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. They were bouncing, doing this unified bounce. I can't remember what it's called. I think it might be a Poznan or something. I can't remember what it's exactly called. But they're doing a unified bounce. And this is a 90,000-seater stadium, right? Huge, a massive structure, huge, very rigid and solid. and they're bouncing, lad, and the ground is moving. I can feel it underneath me shaking, and I'm looking around at everybody, and I'm like, is this normal? Should a stadium like this rock? But it's because of how much force they were putting into the jumping up and down and the noise, lad. It was genuinely a spectacle. It was something that you only dream of as a child, lad, to be able to see and be part of. And I was just sat in complete awe. I had 2 free seats next to me because people didn't turn up. I was honestly, it's one of the most poignant little moments of my life where a little childhood dream was met. And I was on my own. I wasn't with anybody, and I just got to take it all in and experience it. And it was glorious. I was ashamed it wasn't Liverpool, but in the same breath, it was nice to watch 2 teams, right? It was nice to watch 2 teams that I don't really have massive stakes in, that I'm not emotionally involved with, so I can just enjoy the football. And let me tell you, lad, Tony Kroos, Vinicius Jr., some of them players on that pitch, you can see why the football players and we're not. Yeah, I'm a freestyler, lad. I'm quite good at football, but then when I watch them, I'm like, oh yeah, crap, I thought he me. Because they're just incredible. I was so grateful to be able to watch Tony Kroos's last game of football, lad. One of the last games of football, like literally one of the legends of football, his last game, and I got to be there. That's so beautiful. I'm so grateful, lad. So anyway, yeah, I'm going on about it, but it was a childhood dream met, and I'm so grateful to have seen it. And hopefully, I get to go to a Liverpool one, because you know what happened to me last time in Liverpool? I got a Champions League final.
You might as well say it then. You might as well say that stupid story, because I get angry every time I hear this stupid story.
Yeah, it's the most stupid story ever, lad. The reason why I was so happy to be there on Saturday was because I missed one for Liverpool when we played in Kiev against Real Madrid. I got some tickets, fortunately. Yeah, first time I've ever been to a Champions League final. I was so excited. I'd woke up at 4 a.m. and my ticket said Stansted, so I got to Stansted Airport, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, where's this flight? Go up to the lady, and she's like, there's no flight to Kiev here, lad. You sure it's the right airport? I'm like, what? Look at it. And what I'd done is looked at the return ticket and not the outgoing ticket. And it turns out the outgoing ticket was from Heathrow. So I jumped in a taxi to get to Heathrow, stupidly, paid millions of quids for taxis and transport and all kinds. Never made it. Missed it. We lost. And the day was crap. I've never forgot it. My employers were very unhappy with me. Probably lost my job. Don't know. Probably did.
You reckon that's why you lost that job?
Yeah, absolutely, lad. They went, are you stupid, lad? We just give you Champions League tickets. Like the poor cameraman that was going with me had to do it all, and he didn't even support Liverpool. He supported like Manchester United or something. It was a man like, oh, I can't believe I messed that up. But I got to go on Saturday. Yeah. Oh, thank you for that, because I fulfilled the dream. Honestly, so yeah, don't be like me. Make sure you look at your tickets, guys. Yeah, don't miss flights.
Yeah, idiot,
pod. Yeah.
Idiot. But yeah, unbelievable. I'm glad that you went, man, because you know, like you say, even I felt the same when I was watching like big World Cup games. You haven't really got a team that you're invested in, but just as you know, we grew up loving football. Obviously, we're Liverpool fans, but to watch great footballers, you know, in their prime in a stadium like that, no matter who it is, sometimes you just pinch yourself and say, wow, I'm so happy I was here kind of thing, and taking away that Liverpool kind of lens on it. But yeah, great to see you again on the pod, bro. Great that you had a nice night on Saturday. Were you, how long did it take you to get home and out of that madness?
Took me an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, which is ridiculous considering usually it takes me about 50. But I expect it, right? Because there's millions of fans.
To wait outside for ages, right?
Them poor Dortmund fans, like, they had to go through crowds of men crying and crowds of people crying and stuff. It was just sad for them, like, because they played extremely well, to be honest with you. But the second they hit the post, I think every single football fan went, yep, Real Madrid are going to win.
Well, look, I'll be honest. If they had killers in their team, they should have been 3-0 up at half time.
Absolutely, they should have, lads.
Then we'd be looking at an Istanbul situation where Madrid would have had to fight back and show all of their tradition and heritage and experience to get back. But if you don't put those chances away, they will kill you.
That's what
and,
they do.
When you've got Danny Carvajal, 5'7", rising above and flicking headers on like that, you got Vinny, you got Jude. I just feel for Dortmund because the game was theirs, man. The game was theirs for the taking. And, you know, it reminded me of the final we had in 2022. We had 22 shots. They had 2 and they win.
Yep, you know, that's the way they do it, lad. Real Madrid don't go.
They don't lose, mate. I was speaking to Gambalage. He said they've won 10 out of the last 10 finals.
That's
the last team to beat them in the European final was us in 1981.
81, lad. That's mad.
So
that's
if there's any team that
Aberdeen
sympathize with Dortmund, it's Liverpool, especially against Madrid. But anyway, let's go back to Liverpool.
They just don't turn up to play football, lad. They turn up to win games. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And
you want to play good football? Yeah, we'll just win. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, sorry, Budgie. Corner?
Oh, you're gonna knock it around, have a few chances. Nice. Yeah, we'll just win. Probably.
Yeah, thanks, Bud. Good participation from you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
There you go.
I was going to say moving on from Madrid, but it isn't really.
Trent.
Knew you were going to bring that up. I know. Listen, they've just got Endrick. They've just got Mbappe. Do you need anyone else? But
can you go away?
The only reason why I kind of made this the title today, Doyle, is I don't know if you saw one of Jude Bellingham's posts saying, Hala Madrid, campeones or whatever. Trent commented saying the first of ... which I assume he meant to say, or he was hiding the word many, first of many. And he said, well done, bro, that kind of stuff. Now, I also saw on Twitter today by just a Liverpool fan that said, and I actually thought I'd bring up in the pod, something I do agree with. As we know, Trent's contract runs out next summer. So about a year's time from now. What I think we should do, well, actually, this isn't what I think we should do. This is what I think could potentially happen. I don't want it to happen. But I do feel like Trent signs the new deal. And then I almost feel like there's some kind of gentleman's agreement. If you sign the new contract, as in this summer, then you can leave next year. And then we can get the full price from Madrid for you. Because there's no way in sweet Jesus' name that we are letting this fella go for free, especially to Madrid. They can't get their way like that every single time. If they want him, we need to protect ourselves and make sure he's signed up and get the absolute maximum fee possible. Let's not forget, at the time, let's say next summer, it'll probably be 25, 26. Prime time, I'm talking at least 150 if you want to take him. But I don't want him to go. I want him to stay at Liverpool forever. But Doyle, do you think that in his head and his circle, obviously know his brother's his agent and they keep things within the family, but do you think that seeing Jude, one of his best mates, win the Champions League, I mean, Trent's already won the Champions League, let's have it right, but seeing Jude win it, do you think Trent has maybe got one eye thinking, I could have a bit of that, playing for Los Galacticos in the Bernabeu, Champions League final after final after final? He's lost 2 against Madrid. Is it a case of if you can't beat them, join them for Trent?
He's good enough to play for them. He would suit Real Madrid. He is a Galactico. Some of the passing varieties that he's got is so special. It makes sense. But obviously, as a fan, we don't want to go, lad. He's Scouser. And he's the most talented Scouser that we've got in the team, without a doubt, by far, lad. I can't see him going anytime soon. What I am worried about is this is a situation I'm thinking about. So, right, the new manager comes in now. He's already won it all with Liverpool. He is the face at the moment. And we don't do well. The next 2 years, 3 years, we struggle. We don't even push for Champions League. We don't win anything. And he thinks, right, my career now, I'm 28, 29. My career is coming to an end very soon, in the next 6 years, 5 years. If I want to win stuff, that's how long I've got left to do it. And so he might be thinking that already. It might be in his plans. It might be something that it's obvious. You can see it, right? There is a link there. You can see it. Having already done it with Liverpool, he's got nothing left to prove. Maybe once he's been captain for a few years, that's about it, really. He's done it all. So I can see him going, to be honest with you. I can. And I do agree with you. It would be nice of the club and him to have an agreement where it is.
Oh,
yeah, I know. There is a gentleman agreement. That's the way it goes, lad. That's the way it goes.
Always Madrid. I swear we're the most successful English club, one of the most successful clubs in Europe of all time, right? I think we're third after Madrid, Milan, then it's us.
Bayern and Barca.
Yeah, and if you include our UEFA Cups and Super Cups, Club World Cups, we're right up there with Madrid. But the one team that we seem to not have the upper hand over in finals, in transfers, it's Real Madrid, mate.
Anybody? Nobody has
always them. In my head, and it sounds horrible, but in my head, they're the only team above us. But as someone who fights for my team and wants to believe that we're the best team, the best fans in the world, I just think we'll always be trailing Real Madrid. It's the one team in club world football that I go, it's Madrid, mate. What are we going to do?
Someone's
Can
got
we
to be the
stop
best.
someone going to Madrid? I don't think we can.
Someone's got to be the best, lad, and you've built a reputation of being that. So that's about it, really. It doesn't mean that Liverpool aren't great. We are one of the best teams in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. That is the thing, lad. We wouldn't have had the success. But it is horrible to see basically the success of football just landing on one team consistently. It's the same in the Premier League at the moment with Man City as well. Just takes away a lot of the excitement, to be quite honest with you. It takes away a lot of the feels. Like, the reason why everyone wants Dortmund to win it is because they haven't won it in ages, lad. It's been years since they've been in the final. It just takes away, doesn't it? But someone's got to do it, lad, and they are. So, respect to them, I guess. But it doesn't mean that I have to enjoy it either, does it, lad? It doesn't mean that I have to sit there and go, I respect it, but I don't want it to happen every year, to be honest with you. I'd rather have two random teams in the final every year. That would be great for me. But that's not realistic. Someone's got to be the best. And they are.
Yeah, and you know, I asked Javier Tebas, the La Liga president, on Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Big final on Saturday. Who's going to win? And without any hesitation, Madrid. He said, Madrid play well, they win. Madrid play bad, they win. They're like an indestructible machine that never dies. And I think everyone wanted Dortmund to win, unless you're a Madrid fan, because it's a victory for football almost, you know. It's a victory for the underdog. And they, like we said, had the chances. But I always knew Madrid would win. I said 2-1 Dortmund. That was out of hope. But I knew Madrid would win. I knew they would win.
We've seen it, lads.
How it is.
10 finals in a row speaks for itself, lad. They are pedigree, they are football heritage, they are the best. That's just the way it is, lad.
If Real Madrid didn't exist, we would have maybe eight Champions Leagues. Oh, it's so mad, isn't it? It's so mad.
Liverpool were 4 games away, lad, from having 2 extra Champions Leagues and 2 Premier Leagues or something, lad. So,
no.
This is the way of football, lad. That's why when you do get the moments, you have to just enjoy every last drop of it, because they don't come around as often unless you're a Real Madrid fan. So, there you are. And then really, does it take away from the joy? I'd actually like to know, I'm not disrespecting anybody when I say that, Real Madrid fans, if any of you watch, does it take away the joy of winning if you consistently just win every single year? I'm not saying that it does. I don't know. I've never supported the team that does that. So,
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. In his interview after the game, Joselu, right, who is a Madridista, you know, went to Stoke, went to Newcastle. He won his first Champions League last night. And don't forget, it was him that scored the goals in the semi-final against Munich to kind of get them out of it. He said in his post-match interview, right, he said, I was on my knees, I was crying, I couldn't believe it, I was so emotional. He said, some of these knobheads don't even celebrate they've won 5 or 6 now. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't having a go. It was more a joke. But he's saying Modric and Kroos and Carvajal and Nacho have won 6 now. Yeah, just alone 6, as many as our whole club ever. And he's saying, Jesus, they're hardly even celebrating. I'm crying my eyes out because this is my dream. And these guys are just walking around like, this is what we do every May. We pick one of these big ears up. That's just how it goes, mate.
How does it, mate? Good on them. Let's not hate on them, but good on them.
Trent to Madrid. Do you think it happens full stop? Do you think it happens this season? Do you think it happens next season?
If Liverpool push on to be a successful team under Arne Slot, it won't happen, in my opinion. If it doesn't happen, it's all about circumstances now. He's got decisions to make based on what happens in the future. I don't think he can make it very clearly right now. I still think he has ambitions of being Liverpool captain. I think that would sting him if he left without being the proper captain, lads. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I think it's all down to what happens in the next few years. That's what it is. If we're successful or not. If we win the Premier League, lad, honestly, if we win the Premier League, lad, I think he's like, I'm staying here, lad, I'm captain.
And I still don't think, even if he left, let's say he signed a new 3-year deal, I don't even think like that dream of his, if it is a dream of his, would be over. I still think they'd sign him after the next 3 years, depending on his form. But as you say, he's the vice captain, right? The Scouser in our team, he'd obviously like to be the captain.
Yeah.
Virgil's still going to be around for a good few more years. So it's difficult, man. So the questions that we're asking you in the chat right now, does he go full stop? Does he go this year? Does he go next year once Liverpool have signed a new contract with him and included a kind of gentleman's agreement? Also, you have to think about Julian Ward and Michael Edwards. They are, I assume, working very hard right now to speak to the manager, speak to the players who need their contracts renewed to protect the club, right? Because it's not, you've just seen what PSG have done, right? Their relationship between Mbappe and PSG has deteriorated so badly that he refused to sign a new contract and he just walked out the door for free. I'm also hearing that apparently
madness, the best player in the world for free, lad.
I'm also hearing apparently that they still owe Mbappe 80 to 90 million euros from wages and bonuses. So it's really messy how he's kind of left there, if you'll pardon the pun. Very messy how he's left that situation. I'd like to think that Liverpool would never get in a situation like that. I'd like to think Trent has enough respect and love for this club and the city to never do us dirty like that. So if there is a situation where he does leave, then it might be a gentleman's agreement. You never know. But
yeah, absolutely. The thing is with him, lad,
I don't want him to leave.
Who are we to tell him? Who are we to say, like, you know, what we think he's thinking he's going to move it? He might just be thinking, I'm staying here forever. What are you talking about, boys?
Maybe.
But either way, I think even if he does move, lad, I won't even begrudge him for it, you know, because he's done so well at this club. It's like, I have to say, I have to be respectful and be like, well done, lad. Thank you for all your service, and I'm going to miss you as a footballer. Go and be successful for Real Madrid, lad. It would be, I'm not going to lie, there's a small part of me that wouldn't mind seeing a Scouser be as successful in these, you know, 6 Champions Leagues.
I know, I've seen it, mate.
I was a kid. Yeah, this one's different, lad. Do you know what I mean? No. There is. I know. I get it. I don't want him to leave, lad. I don't want him to leave.
The club for Madrid, bro. I don't want to hear you ever say that again.
I know.
Never say that again around me.
But there's a small part of me that wants
to see him. No, there's a big part of me that wants to see him do that for us.
Yeah, me too, lad. I'd much prefer him to. I'd much prefer him to stay with us.
Never say that again, bro. Man.
Of course, I'd much prefer him, lad. We love this kid, lad. But if he did go, lad, I'm not going to begrudge him for it. I'm just not, because
I will.
Football's a hard game, lad. You've got to go where you're going to be successful when you're that talented, and I can't begrudge him because he's already brought so much success to the club. So you can't keep someone prisoner.
He could look at this situation and then look at how the Gerrard situation played out, and he could think. And again, we're only speculating. We're only assuming whether he thinks one thing or he doesn't even want to leave. We're just talking. We're on a podcast, right? This is our jobs, but there is a part of me that thinks, well, I saw what happened to Gerrard when he tried to go to Chelsea, Real Madrid, Inter Milan. They were burning his shirts. You know, there was some big gangsters probably that threatened to cut his legs off in Liverpool if he ever left. I don't think he'd get that, right? Because times have moved on. But is there a part of him that thinks, well, and again, it's different because he's won the Premier League. Gerrard never. But is there a part of him that thinks, well, maybe Gerrard should have left and stayed too long and was too loyal, so maybe I will leave? Is he looking at that as a situation? I don't know, man. But I'm just fed up and I'm tired of us selling and linking our best players to them. It's just like, we can do this to any other club, but we're getting it done to us by them. And it's
but Barcelona and Real Madrid.
How Southampton feel? They must hate us.
Yeah, they do. I know a few Southampton fans. Like, do you like Virgil van Dijk? Do you? Because that's ours, buddy. Yeah, we made him.
Yeah, but when they say that, I say, well, we paid for your new training ground, mate. So
well, that's what they'll say to us, I guess. If they give, how much would they? Yeah, there's another question. How much would Trent actually go for, lads? I'd say, my opinion, 100 mil. I'd want 100 mil for him, you know, lads.
I'd want at least 125 for him, at least.
Like, he's that good, especially if he's going at 26, 27, lads. Like, that kid's going to be, his best attribute is his variety of passing. You can put him into midfield eventually. He's not the best defender in the world. We all know that. But
you don't need to be out there.
No, he excels so much with his passing. Yeah, it does. It's horrible. Can you imagine this? Trent through ball to Mbappe, lad.
No.
Scatty that, innit? Scattiness, lad.
Stop it, though. You're pissing me off now.
You know what I mean? He doesn't even have to be accurate with Mbappe, lad, because he can just sprint onto it. He can just make it look good. It's let's just hope that Liverpool's successful in the next few years, because that's how we're going to retain our players. And that's the only way you should. It's based off meritocracy. I don't believe that you should just have players because you're their team, or I think you should be based off meritocracy. And if we're not doing well, then our better players will go to a team that is. And until we do well again and we get better players, that's just the way it works. We're not Real Madrid.
That's why when I look at Trent, Virgil, Mo, Ali, I'm looking at them guys for the first 5 games of this season, and if things aren't going well,
yeah, we're desperate to keep them. We're like we keep them, brilliant, desperate. Like, so we just have to pray, lad, that Michael Edwards and the team put up a plan that is sufficient enough to keep them, lad. And having said that, every single one of them players so far, Virgil van Dijk said he's staying, Salah said he's staying, Trent hasn't said he's staying,
Ali's
but
not
I don't
going
think
anywhere.
Ali won't go anywhere either. So I don't think Trent said anything bad. I don't think, honestly, it's just stupidness, the speculation that goes on in social media and all that stuff. We're just talking about it because that's what you're saying we've got to do. So it's stupidness. Maybe this never even happens. Lad, Marco Reus was coming to Liverpool 11 seasons in a row. Do you know what I mean? It was nailed on, lad. He's coming to Liverpool, and it just didn't. So we'll see what happens, lad. But there's definitely a future where he goes to Real Madrid, lad. There's definitely one there. It's not wild enough, lad. That is a future, lad. That's a possibility. Why wouldn't you go and live in Spain, lad, for the next 5 years in Madrid? Go and win 20 Champions Leagues in 5 years. You know what I mean? It's just
Trent, if you're watching, which you won't be,
of course.
Please don't go, mate.
Yeah, we love you, lad. Properly, do not go, brother.
Honestly. It does feel like the summer of 2004 all over again in terms of Gerrard being linked. I remember picking up a newspaper, and 2004, I was 10 years old, right? And I picked up a newspaper. I think it was the Express or the Mirror or something. And I remember, you know what my memory's like, Doyle, with photographs and years and dates and stuff, right? I remember, and I was sitting in this room, because this used to be the kitchen. It's now a kind of TV room, but I remember sitting in this room, seeing the paper and crying, bro. I cried, because it says, Steven Gerrard, I want to join Chelsea. And I went, oh my God, surely not. And it isn't as bad as that now, because obviously Trent's not said anything like that. But as we approach this crucial new dawn, this new era, the main priority, and it's what we spoke about, isn't it, last week on the pod? It's lockdown Trent, it's lockdown Virgil. And even if it is a lockdown Trent and then sell him next year, at least we've protected ourselves and not sold him for free.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, I hope it isn't that. I absolutely desperately hope it isn't. Yeah, but he needs to go. He's a super talented player, lad. He's ridiculous.
We'll have to chat to Ruby and say, listen, man, you're gonna have to have a word with Trent.
Please do, Ruby. And honestly, again, who are we to question him, lad? He might, honestly, this is all just hearsay stuff, innit?
We're just fans that want him to stay.
Desperately to want him to stay. Though, I will say I won't begrudge him if he goes, because I can't. It's one of them things where you've just got to treat him with respect, lad, because he's done so much for the club already. But having said that, please stay and do more, lad. Love to see you lift another Champions League with that captain's armband on your arm there, lad. Imagine that. You know what I mean? Boom! And also, imagine this, lad. Imagine this, brother. Yeah, storyline right now. You captain Liverpool. You're 28 years old, lad. We haven't been that successful in the last few years, but the team's growing now, and it's all based around you and a few other players. We get to a Champions League final, lad. And who was it against? Real Madrid, lad. Yeah. And now I'm creating another mad storyline that's full of copium, lad, and hopium, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And then you get to a final against them, lad, and you beat Real Madrid, lad. For the third time you've played them in a final, and the last one you do it, you get your revenge, brother, for the revenge that you should have got before, and the one that you should have got before that as well. But you got it this time, and you lift the Champions League, lad, and you'll have a picture with that armband right there. That's immortalised you, lad, with that big ears right there, lad, celebrating. That should mean a lot to him, lad. I can't imagine that the ones that he would win with Real Madrid would mean as much. And it's not because they're not a wonderful team or anything, or the sport has nothing to do with that. It's simply because he's a Scouser, and it would be nice to see a Scouser. It would be a good feeling, lad, to have a Scouser as the captain again, lifting the Champions League. That's it, really. That's a storyline, lad. what dreams are made of. You know what I mean?
You know what, right? There's a few Madrid fans in the chat. We are going to jump into the chat very shortly. And just before we get on to our next hot topic, what I wanted to do is say a big shout out to my friend Timothy Parrish, who's in the chat right now. He's from America. And Tim has been watching us from day dot, Doyle. He's one of our biggest fans, and we love him. But there was something I didn't know about Timothy until I think genuinely about 2 or 3 days ago, and that's he's deaf. You know, he speaks in sign language. So I just wanted to say, I think that means good morning in sign language. So excuse me, Tim, if I've messed that up, but I think that means it's like this. I think that means good morning. So I wanted to make you feel a bit more at home, and you know, make us cater to you a bit more. And you know what? I'm going to learn more, man. I am going to learn more sign language. I think it's a good thing to know.
This means thank you, I think.
Yeah. This means hello, I think. And then this means good morning. So shout out to you, Tim. I know he watches every show from America. I had no idea he was deaf. He told me the other day. And yeah, I just felt like
that's amazing.
That's a nice thing to do, because, you know, he's a very important person. And yeah, shout out to Tim, man. Big up to you, bro.
This is why football's the best, lad, honestly, because everybody gets to experience it regardless of like your accessibility needs or anything. You just get to join in and experience the joy of supporting a football team rather than watching the game. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a lovely thing to start. That's nice, that, lad. Thank you for telling us that. I didn't know that either. Thank you, Timothy, mate. Thank you.
Good morning. So good morning back to you, brother. Right. Mbeumo, right? We've been hearing some bits and bobs about, and I shouldn't laugh.
I like him.
It's rude. Don't be rude.
Yeah, innit? Stop
but
it,
the geezer's 24. I thought he was 32, mate.
I know, lad. It's fair to say that, lad.
He's 24.
I think he'll say himself, lad. Do you know what I mean?
He plays for Brentford, right? He's had a good season, and I don't think he will come to Liverpool. But as you know, we call it silly season on this channel, don't we? We just think, well, journalists and papers.
There's going to be a million names, lad. A million.
They've got to fill up their their column inches. They have to with something. Is there any want to bring him to Liverpool? And have you seen enough to make you think, yeah, he's nailed on? Or could it be one of those sort of like Minamino signings where he comes in to back up, scores a few goals, moves on? Again, get used to the fact that we are going to be linked with pretty much a lot of players in the next 2 or 3 months until the window closes. But is there any part of this that excites you? With all due, like, respectfully speaking,
I think he's brilliant, lad. I think Mbeumo is a ready good footballer, lad, and he scores bags of goals. He's got a great technique on him, lad. His shots, every time he has a shot, he looks like he knows. I can't explain it when I say technique. He looks like he does it correctly. I know it sounds really remedial to just say it. So basically, he just hits it really well, and that's why he's a good finisher. He's got pace. He's young. I like him, but do we need more forwards? I don't think we do. Not right now, especially if we're keeping Salah. I don't think it's our priority to go out for Mbeumo. If Salah had left, yeah, I'd actually like him at the club if the price tag is right. If it's not something stupid like £90 million or something stupid, I think it's like 60 or 50, right? Something like that. That's what he's linked with. So I'm okay with that. But I just don't think we need another striker. We need a centre defensive mid, and we need the centre back immediately. Like
I almost
right
think
now.
That we need. I'm going to call it a backup spine all through the middle. So, and again, it's going to lead us quite nicely on to the next person I'd like to talk about. But it looks like Quivin has been speaking about potentially leaving. So again, with all due respect, a backup goalie. I'd like a backup centre back. I'd like a backup midfielder, a CDM. And there is a part of me that thinks a backup striker, bro. When
for Nunes?
Well, just when you're aware of the fact that, you know, if let's say Jota gets injured every 2 games, he comes back.
This is the problem.
And he is clinical. Is there someone out there who, you know, would be happy enough to come in and play that kind of backup singer role? But I think you're right. I don't think it's a priority when you look at Diaz, Gakpo. Again, some of these guys could leave at some point.
But if they all stay fit, though, lad, if they all stay and they all stay fit, there's no need for strikers. Jota is the one, right? Jota is the lad that gets injured consistently, and I love him. He's one of the best finishers in our team, if not the best, probably the best finisher. and Mo Salah, of course.
I know he is, but you're
he
saying
just needs to stay fit.
if
I get
he's
it, lad.
fit.
Again, honestly, a lot of this rests on what's going to happen this next season. It's very important that we try and gauge what this new team is capable of, lad, under a new manager. I don't think we can say we need to do this now because we don't know what we need to fix. We don't know what problems. Does that make sense? We do in terms of a Klopp team, but this team's going to be different and it's going to operate differently. So I don't think forwards is what we prioritise. I really don't. But I do like Mbeumo. Let me not get it twisted. That fella is a good footballer, and I'd be happy to see him win the Liverpool shirt. No problem. I think he's good.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with you in that sense of I'd be happy to see him. I think if we are going to go and get a striker or a winger who can play through the middle, with all due respect to him, because listen, I've seen him in the flesh. He's a good player, and he complements Ivan Toney. He complements
massively.
He gets goals, right? He's a nuisance, but respectfully to him, I think we can do a bit better. Respectfully.
I agree. I know, I know what you're saying. I do, lads. But again, this is all going to come down to how successful we are, and that's going to be determining our pull for quality players, right? And if we can get somebody that's proven in the Premier League already, scores bags of goals, he's top goal scorer at some point last season, lad, and then he got injured. Like, that's what I'm worried about. I don't want injury-prone players, lad. Doesn't matter how good you are. If you can't play, it's so frustrating to see good players on the bench. Thiago, Jota, Daniel Sturridge. Like, these players, we can't have it. The reason why Mo Salah's being so successful is because he's consistently on that football pitch. Yes, he's talented. Yes, he's hardworking. But he's there as well. He's literally physically there. Yeah. It's important.
So, just on Mbeumo, before we move on, apparently Newcastle are interested in him as well. He wants to play in the biggest competitions. Obviously, we've got Champions League back next summer. But he could offer a proven kind of replacement on the right flank. Not that Salah is going to leave because Salah's staying. And by the way, he's had a hair transplant, Salah.
I know, yeah.
So maybe we get the 26, 27, 28-year-old Salah coming back. Who knows? But as we know, we've got players that we're looking to offload. And there's an article here by The Express. And it says that Liverpool could offer up to 4 players to seal the Bryan Mbeumo swap deal. Now, one of those things that has been mentioned is Fabio Carvalho. I mean, Kelleher could be one as well. Kostas Tsimikas. There's a few players. Sepp Vandenberg, who we've put a 20 mil price tag on. Stefan Bajcetic played 98 minutes across 3 appearances for Liverpool this season. I mean, I'd like to keep them all. But at the same time, if you do a little swap deal like that, you could bring him in. But again, 24.
You don't need to do that, lad. Why would we get rid of 4 players that are basic? We need depth at the moment, lad. That would be the stupidest thing to do. Get rid of depth in your team for 1 player that's not even consistently on the pitch because he's injured a lot. Honestly, this is why some of this speculation is just the stupidest thing ever, lad. Are these people writing this out understand what they're talking about? I'm sorry. Going off on one there. Stupid. We need them for. I know we don't play them 4 players consistently, but if we need them at some point, then we're going to need them. Why would we get 4 players? Especially players like Tsimikas and Bajcetic, who we've just given new contract to, who definitely deserves a chance in this Liverpool team. Easy, lad, but he deserves a chance. We can't get rid of him, lad. That's not fair. In my opinion, it's not. It wouldn't be fair to him.
I agree, but I was just reading them out, and I
sorry, lad. Yeah, I just gave him a little.
Sorry, bud. Shoot the messenger, man. I didn't write it.
You know what I mean? Lad? That would just be silly, that, in my opinion. No swap deals. Just buy the players, lad.
Just buy them. And do you know what? A lot of people, including myself, including people in the chat, including other pundits and content creators, saying one of the big positions for Liverpool is a CDM. Have we not forgot how good Stefan Bajcetic was before he got injured at such a young age? He could step up and even take Endo's position this season, right? So I don't think we go all in buying a number 6 when you know that you've got Endo, you've got Bajcetic who can play there, and Trent can play there as well.
Yeah.
Do we actually? So what is the priority here? Because when you add up all these players, I think it is a centre back, isn't it? I do think 100%
it's the centre back, lad. We've just lost Joel Matip as well. Kanate is consistently injured. We've got a young lad in Jarell Quansah who's brilliant, but you can't expect him to be playing 38 games and plus a season when he's this young. Well, you can, I guess you can, but I wouldn't want him to. When we're Liverpool, right? I want someone that's a tried and tested defender. So We needed a centre back without a shadow of a doubt. 100%. Joe Gomez, though, has been brilliant for us. I really loved him this season. I think he could slot back into centre back easily. Being a great utility player for us. He's been the new Joe, the new
player.
He's new James Milner, essentially, and lad. That's what he is. Been fantastic for us.
So let us know in the chat, would you want us to go all out for a CDM, or are you confident knowing that Stefan Bajcetic will get more time and will grow a lot more this season with the time and the minutes on the pitch, or do we go in for an out-and-out 6?
We need a little bit more quality, lad. I really think Endo's done incredibly well for us in terms of breaking up play, intercepting. Yeah, brilliant, lad. Proper bulldog, gets properly stuck in, lad, and we love that. But I think when we're looking at a bit of quality, I do think sometimes he looks like he's a little bit stuck in the mud. I think we could get a bit more of a better pivot in that 6 role, as well as the energy that he brings. That's all I would say. I would say if we could sign a proper world-class centre defensive midfielder, that would add to our game massively. It would give license to Mache, license to Szoboszlai, license to these other players to leave it to this energised destroyer like a Fabinho. Like Fabinho was incredible, lad. He really was. He had the energy and then the quality. He was incredible.
He was so good.
He was.
And you know, there's a lot of questions around the players that will be leaving, including Quivin. You know, he's been interviewed on international duty, and he's basically come out and said, look, I obviously played a lot towards the end of the season. I am aware that there's probably other clubs looking to get me. How do you feel about that? And to be honest, fair play, because he doesn't want to be a number 2 anymore, Doyle. But there's a way of going about it. I don't think he was disrespectful to Liverpool. He was probably saying what most people thought anyway, that, he did play a lot of games, almost as many as Alisson. And there will be clubs looking at him, because that's now going to mean that we'll have to go and get another number 2 as well, because Adriana's left.
He is a valuable goalkeeper, lad, without a shadow of a doubt. And I have no problem with him saying, I think that I'm good enough to play first team football, because he is, and he did for Liverpool, and he plugged the gap for us for a long time, lad, in that season. And he was fantastic. So, absolutely deserves it. Sad on a Liverpool perspective, right? Because the best second goalkeeper in the league, without a doubt. But means that we're going to have to try and replace him if he does go somewhere. Again, another player that I will not begrudge. Thank you very much, Kelly, lad. You've done so much for Liverpool. You've been fantastic. And every time we've asked you to step up, what a second goalkeeper you've been. Like, go and fulfill a role where you'll be first team goalkeeper and you'll play every week, because you absolutely deserve it. He's brilliant, lad.
Of course he deserves it. Of course he does. And
brilliant little goalkeeper, him.
Yeah, and you know, it's got to the point where he's played so many games that he's actually now got the experience to go and be a number 1 elsewhere. So again, let us know in the chat what do you think this one ends with Kelleher. Does he stay? Does he go? Over 300 of you in the chat right now, right? So I'm going to ask this question. Have you liked the video yet? Right? We've got about 5-10 minutes to go. Have you liked the video yet? Get involved.
Yes, please.
And support us. Please do press that like button, and I'm promising you we'll jump into the chat and get through a few comments now. The last hot topic today was the fact that even though we've heard, and it's pretty much nail on the head what we said last week, Doyle, in terms of what we'd like to see from Slot, going to pubs, right? We've been hearing that he stayed at the Titanic, but no sighting yet of Arne Slot in official Liverpool colours. There's been no media announcements. There's been no holding up of the scarf. There's been no leaning against the wall, having the official pictures. If you were a betting man, when would you bet that Liverpool drop the content that everyone's waiting for? Because as things stand, it seems like the social team at LFC are maybe on holiday, a deserved holiday, by the way. Let's not criticise them, as I feel like some people have done in the in socials. But let's actually say, well, when is it going to happen? When are we going to see this?
Pre-season, lad, just before pre-season. That's what will happen.
After the Euros?
Potentially.
So you're saying we go another 6 weeks without seeing a Slot in Liverpool colours? I think you're a madman, mate.
6 weeks? Do we not have any games before that? No, none.
No, bro. We've got to. No. You've got to listen. We know he's the manager. Yeah, thumbs down, buddy. We know he's the manager, but at the same time, let's see a couple of picks to get us a bit excited. I think
there must be a moment that they're waiting for. I don't actually know when it will be, lad. If it is before the pre-season, then yeah, that is a bit mad. I don't know why I said that, lad. I thought it was a lot sooner than that. I don't know why. Basically, the Euros didn't think in my head that it was that long, but it's a long tournament. My bad. But lads, I can't actually tell you, when do you think it is in the comments? Let us know, because is there a date that we're not aware of, or is there an occasion, or what?
Graham in the chat said he's doing a pub crawl along Stanley Road.
So he's doing
great
first,
pubs there. Well, I've heard that he was in Cooper's. I don't even want to believe that, because that genuinely is the worst pub I think I've ever been in my life. Karaoke, people with no teeth in their mouth, 2:00 on a Tuesday, thinks of BO. I only had to go. My uncle pranked me, because my uncle got these sunglasses that I left at a funeral, and he brought them back to me, and he took me in there, and I had one sip of my Guinness, looked around, looked back at him as if to say, "Why have you brought me here?" And he went, lad, it's rough as toast, innit? I just wanted to see your fucking bit, lads. It was heavy shite in here, lads. So it's awful. But I'm saying, what are we today? Monday, yeah? I reckon
surely before the Euros, lad. It's got to be before the Euros, you know what I mean?
This week, I'm saying in 2 days. I think Liverpool want to wait for all the Champions League noise to die, and everyone starts focusing on transfers and the Euros. I think there's a day in between that where you'd go, yeah, now is the best time to do it. So let's get him. I
agree. When there's no noise around,
right? Let's get him ready to go, and let's get him. Let's get him leaning against that wall, mate.
What is it now? 2 weeks. He looks like 2 weeks until the first game in the Euros, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the 20th. No, on the 14th or something, isn't it?
So let us know in the chat, when will we see Arne Slot in Liverpool official pictures and videos? Give us a shout. Shout out to the Scouse GK. I believe he won the league, but I believe he lost the cup on the weekend. So commiserations, Marshy lads.
But also congratulations as well, lad.
Yeah, congratulations. Going unbeaten, I think, in the league. Unbelievable. And even more so, congratulations for becoming part of the Kop TV family, mate. Yeah? That's the big one that we're looking at here. And yeah, Marshy's definitely going to be across a lot of our work next season, which I'm really looking forward to, man. It's a great, authentic Scouse voice that we get on with as a mate. It's almost like fate. You know how it was fate that I met you, and then you introduced me to Jack and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I introduced you to DR, blah, blah, blah. It's genuinely, I think that there's another one of them moments with Marshy.
It's just an organic
interaction. Organic.
Which makes it easy to work with them. Yeah, so then when you go to work, it's that easy, because you're just like, oh yeah.
He also got the
Golden Glove as well. It's right, lad.
Well, then Marshy kid.
He smoked us the other week, honestly, we played footy with him, lad, and I just couldn't. Every shot that I was having, he was saving, lad. It was doing me head in. Got in my head.
All right. Just because Marshy's in the chat right now, can you let us know, Marshy, just a small description of my 2 free kicks that went into the top left corner? Just a small one. They weren't on video.
All you have to write is proper crap.
I'm all up for a laugh and a joke. But that was 2 of the best goals I've ever scored in my life. And how they weren't filmed is an absolute disgrace.
Not this, buddy. Yeah, this is serious.
Seriously. Right, let's jump into a few comments before we get off. Henry, shout out to him. He says, I have a horrible feeling Trent feels himself in Madrid with all those other stars. I'd be mad and sad if he went. I mean, listen, guys, no matter if you're a Scouser, no matter who you are, to dream of playing for Real Madrid, I'm sorry, it does happen no matter where you're from. So listen, if he does go, we just got to make sure we've protected ourselves. But yeah,
that's what I would like. I think that's the number one thing. If he leaves the club, but he lets us have money for him, then all right, lads, yeah, thank you.
Let us have money for him.
As in, don't just go for free, lads, you know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously.
Don't go for free, lads.
John, shout out to you, says, hi guys, hope you're well. Do you really think Trent could leave? We've spoken about it for half an hour, so go back and watch, my friend. Shout out to Hollywood Rock. Trent would be mad to turn Madrid down. Biggest club in the world, and play with Vinny, Bellingham and Mbappe. Klopp should just avoid anything Real Madrid from now on. Another final loss with him there on Saturday.
Someone's got to stop them. Somebody has to stop them.
FFP, stop them, please.
Someone help.
Mbappe just got 150 million sign-on bonus. Trent might yeah, but that's good for Trent. It's not good for us. It's great for Trent. He's a multi-millionaire, but no good for Liverpool. And no good for PSG letting them Mbappe just walk out the door as well.
50 million. They just give him basically. They just. Oh my god. So how does someone get paid that much money, lad? 150 million pound. That's basically his transfer fee. That's what that is. Yeah. But they went, you can have it instead, lad.
Yeah. Let's put it in your bank. No one wanted Dortmund to win apart from you haters. Vamos a la Madrid, says Jamal.
They did, buddy. Sorry.
I'm not even gonna entertain this guy. If he's a Madrid fan, you can get out of here, bro. Real Madrid and United are both greater than Liverpool. I don't think so.
Real Madrid are probably a better team, lad, but don't know about United, lads.
Yeah, no way. Oh, look, Vamos says Trent not good enough. Keep him. All right, we will.
Thank you. Yeah, I would love if your owners say that. No, I'm great with that, lad. No problem.
Afuera de mi canal. Oh. Silencio on.
The worst. Real Madrid fans, you can't even say anything to them, lads.
Somerville to Liverpool. I've heard a lot about that as well. Can't see it. Can't see
James Bond, lads.
Yeah, can't see it. Good player. Jamal then says, Mejor jugador del mundo is Vinny Jr.
Best player in the world is Vinny Jr.
You heard, obviously, what was his name? Rio Ferdinand going, Ballon d'Or. I think Jude's got a better chance of winning it and deserves to win it more than Vinny, but that's just my opinion. I wasn't using threats. I was just saying what Liverpool fans did to Gerrard when he was thinking about going to Chelsea. But as I also said, which you missed out, James Bond, 00 sausage, that times have moved on and that wouldn't happen anymore. I hope.
Absolutely not, lad. He doesn't deserve that in any way.
Doily, I've got the exact same picture you have on your wall, but mine's better. Says Big
that
Frank
one.
Carlisle.
This one here. That's the Liverpool skyline. You're on it. That's amazing. I've got the same one as Frank. That's boss.
It needs to be updated a little bit, so I don't think it's got like the Moda Lexington and them kind of buildings.
No, and my sister actually gave me that because she had it and she didn't like it, so I was like, I'll have that around me in Liverpool because I live in London.
Yeah. Never heard a player turn down Real Madrid. That is a good point, to be fair. Shout out to Ant Dicko. Big shout out to man like Tim. Big shout out to Fraser as well. Let's see what else have we got here. Agent Jude will make it, says
honestly, this is the thing, innit? We've all been thinking that Trent was the agent, lad, and in actual fact it might have been Jude. Jude's like, nah lads, I'm going Madrid, in a few years when we do well on that, I'll put a word in for you. Come to ours instead, innit?
Anyway, Magpie is going along with what I like. F off, Trent ain't going Madrid. See you later. This is a mad one. By the way, happy birthday to Liverpool Football Club. 132 years. We've had 22 managers. Since the year 2000, Chelsea have had 22 managers.
Wait a minute, lad.
Mad stat.
That is quite... Is that real?
In our whole history, bro, we've had 22 managers ever in 132 years. Yeah.
That tells you that we family club, that lad. That's what that means. We just believe in the manager that we choose, lad.
Yeah. And listen, Chelsea, like I said, 25 odd managers in the last 25 years. It's not looking good, Briv.
I can't believe that,
Mental stat, innit? Frank says Trent Mentor is gone. He was so upset on Klopp's last game. I think he'll go to Madrid. Ancelotti is a great admirer of Trent, and his mate Bellingham is already there. Listen, mate, I'm a great admirer of Rihanna, but it doesn't mean I've got a shot.
Trent's Monster, yeah. Honestly,
probably more realistic this one.
As Frank's right, like I said it earlier, there's a very likely possibility that he could go. There's a future there for him at Real Madrid, without a shadow of a doubt. And who are we to tell him to turn it down after all the success that he's brought to this football team? We can't, and we have to celebrate him and clap him on his way out. But hopefully, he wants to stay with us. That's all we can do, lad. That's literally it. So and the only way he will is if we're successful. That's it.
Yeah, there won't be like a pity stay.
No, maybe don't want that, lad. I want him to do well. Like, you know what I mean?
In the doldrums, mate. He was pulling us up when we were 8th, 7th.
And that's why we love him.
If we get into that period, then Trent's going to go, nah, I can do better than this.
I agree.
Henry, says, Mbuemo is so direct, but his passing isn't great. Would prefer Nico Williams on the left from, not our Nico Williams, from Bilbao. That Nico Williams. Yeah, Slot hasn't been spotted since he stayed at the Titanic. Gerrard tried to leave, so it can happen, even if loved ones even if one loved their club so much, it's business now, unlike once upon a time. Yeah, good shout there, Tim.
Absolutely.
Again, my guess is Wednesday. That's my guess, but what do I know?
Harry Kane just went to Bayern Munich, by the way, to go and win a trophy, even though he loves Spurs because he couldn't win one there. That's what happens. Yeah.
I hope and pray Slot doesn't go for a number 6, as Trent is perfect there. We need 2 wingers and a centre forward, says Charles. I'm not sure about that. Let's go through a few more. So many comments, by the way. It's incredible to see them all. I will read out the super chat now from Yonga. All super chats get bumped up to the top of the queue, guys. So if you are sending in your comment and wondering why we're not reading it out, there's just too many, and we can only read out the super chats. I feel so bad for Dortmund. Madrid have enough Champions Leagues. Yeah, that's just not how the game works, though, unfortunately. I feel so bad for Gerrard, but he never got a Premier League. It is what it is. Football's a cruel mistress. Fat Ronaldo, I should say, El Fenomeno Ronaldo, never won a Champions League. Zlatan Ibrahimovic never won a Champions League. Luke Chadwick won a Premier League. So life's a shit house. Soft tits is what I'd say. That's what my mum used to say. Soft tits, lad. The priorities for B Winnie, a CDM, CBN, a winger. I'm not believing that for 1 second. Yeah, you sausage. The reason Liverpool tick so well is because of Fabinho. I think skimping out on buying one will show, or not buying one will show. Well, listen, don't slag off Endo though. Great season.
No, we're not. We're not. He's been brilliant, but we definitely know, similar to what you said about Mbeumo, we can still do a little bit better, right? I don't think that's out of the wild to say.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out Tim, who says happy birthday to Liverpool. No, Everton didn't pay their bills since then. It was genuinely like the whole story of how Liverpool started. It's because Everton couldn't pay the rent. On the stadium. So
we went, Sam, what's going on about it?
We'll have that. Imagine if that didn't. Imagine if, because you can go back 135 years. Imagine if that didn't happen. Would we even be sat around here right now?
Just be one team in Liverpool, wouldn't it?
Liverpool's
like
history.
Newcastle.
Yeah, literally could have been, and we might not have even ever been Liverpool fans. We could have been Everton fans. Can you imagine the depressingness there? Jesus. Credit to Nunez for some game winners, but yeah, still a lot more to improve next season. Absolutely. Mr. Whippy. Here we go. This is Marshy explaining my technique for those 2 free kicks that I absolutely whipped past him. He couldn't even move, Doyle. It was like he was stuck in the quicksand. Yeah, he saw that ball. He thought, I'm not even going to try and reach there. It's impossible.
They were good free kicks. They were very good.
And fluky. Relax, Graham. Yeah, they were. I did 2 in a row, and I called it as well. Remember, Doyle? I called it.
You did.
I did call it. Jealous.
You did.
Jamie says, the boys. The chances of him going to Madrid this summer is about the same as Heron Foods doing Uber Eats.
Don't disrespect Heron, lad. Heron's amazing, lad.
Heron Foods, shout out.
If you've only got £1.20 in your pocket, lad, you can feed the family with that in there, lad. It won't be nutritious or anything, but you could feed them.
Heron Foods could end up on Uber Eats, mate. You never know. Don't rule it out. It would be sad, but he's one of the best players in the world. Fair play. I wish him all the best if he chooses to go. Give them out for free with the Echo with Doyle. Shout out to man like Marshy. Pretty easy life with pretty Spanish girls. Yeah, I'd take that. No question at all. Mbappe must be very tired of Paris already. It's boring over there. 22 managers, Frank. It's unbelievable. Bet you didn't
that
even
is
know that,
genuinely.
The Carlisle.
That is genuinely unbelievable.
One more, though, up the Chelsea. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. What is wrong with you? Up the Chelsea on the Kop TV. You're mad. No way. F the Chelsea. Doyle, have you seen the our kid thing about Liverpool? You need to watch it. Ricky Tomlinson and the 3 fellas from Brookie in it. No,
what is
I
it?
will watch that.
What is it? Is it on YouTube?
I think it's called Our Kid. But yeah, I'll maybe send it over, Frank, on the DMs, and then I'll send it over to Doyle.
That'd be great, that. Yes, please.
Love this channel, lads. Definitely not distracted from work right now. Or look, we've only got a couple minutes left, so you can stick around. I'm sure you won't get in trouble. Shout out to Michael Ramsey. Any relation to Gordon? Let us know. Madrid don't want rubbish Trent.
Fair play. Honestly, if you don't, great. Happy. Cool. Thank you.
No, we'll take it.
He's rubbish. Rubbish, actually.
Right, we have spoken in depth about the potential of Trent Alexander-Arnold moving to Madrid at some point. We're not saying it's going to happen, but it might in the future. We're preparing ourselves. We've also spoken about Brian and Buemo. Could he come to Liverpool? We've spoken about potentially Kelleher leaving Liverpool. We've also spoken about the Champions League final, Doyle's experience. Klopp was there. Amazing atmosphere with the Dortmund fans. They couldn't get it over the line. And of course, we've spoken about the fact that as of yet, even though he's 3 days into his new role, we've not seen a picture of Arne Slot. Arne, where are you? Where are you? Get to the chopper.
Was that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, wrong country. Yeah, shout out to Jamie. Says apparently some info coming about City's charges. I mean, we'll see. I mean,
hey, have you seen in the betties? Have you seen that thing in the betties? That Man City is 25-1 to get relegated. Liverpool's, hopefully, to give context, is 2,000. So is Arsenal's. So that's
Ooh. Let's see. Let's hope. Right, Doyle. I've enjoyed having you on Hot Kopics today, as always, my bro. I will see you. I'll see you this week. I see you every week, don't I? Really, don't I?
You bloody do, bud. Yeah.
Forward to it. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget we are live. So please send us a bit of love, give us a like, comment with your thoughts on what we've been speaking about today, and of course subscribe. And then if you're on the audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, etc., please show us some love on there. 5-star rating and a follow. That would be great. Just to finish us off, Frank Carlisle says this is by far the best pod, except from mine. So go over to Frank Carlisle's channel and watch his stuff as well. We are on the road to 50k subs, guys. So please, if we can get that before the start of next season, I'd love that. So shout out to Marshy. Road to 50k is well and truly on. Let's get to 44k first, and we'll go from there.
Thank you,
guys.
Marshy, lad.
It's been an absolute pleasure. All around the world, you tune in by your hundreds. We absolutely love you. We love Doyle, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Love you all. Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you check out the rest of the channel too. There's other stuff you'll enjoy for sure.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV,
the voice of football's most famous dads.
Come on.